because I was so excited. I totally forgot my computer. And so, like, dude, me and that computer, it's the ADHD, man. I've got a perfect setup in my office. That's the biggest problem. And so when it's
Uh-huh.
in there, it just looks like it belongs. And so when I
Mhm.
leave, I just don't want to bother it. Like, come home with me, and it shakes its head no, you know? So,
Yeah, it is a perfect setup, it's great because I kinda have that same thing. I have that
hmm
in my work and in my home office, and so it's kinda nice. The only problem I have is I only have 1 pair of headphones, and I'm
mm,
kind of clingy to these headphones. For
right.
those who are watching on the YouTube,
The
you can see
YouTubies.
them.
Yeah.
I've had these now for probably about 5 years, and
Really?
they're
They look
yeah.
brand new. They look
Well,
good.
they're top notch. I only use them for podcasting. I do have a bunch of I have tons actually
I've got
of like
lots of headphones.
headphones. Like I have these are my commuting ones, but then I
Mm,
also have ones that are a little bit bigger, that are noise canceling that I use for travel, for air travel.
gotcha.
And then I have running headphones. I have a lot of headphones.
I told you I just got some headphones. These ones are supposed to be for sleep, and I got them from Temu. So yeah,
Yeah,
look at that.
so wait, are they headphones or are they like,
Well,
earplugs?
earbuds, I guess. I guess yeah, earbuds. See, look, check them out. Just little tiny things, but it's my favorite color, and they're supposed to be so you can sleep at night. So
See, and I just have like a whole like tub full of like earplugs that I put in every night.
dude,
And
yeah, I don't know how you do it, man. I found something out today, but before we do that, look, welcome, everyone, to the best darn podcast show.
yes,
What's going on here, Josh? What are we doing here, man?
I don't even know how many days into this. Just to let everybody know, we're not an everyday podcast.
No,
We're just launching this, and so we're doing 8 episodes in the first week.
why eight and
Oh,
not seven? Like, what are you thinking?
I don't know. I think it was something I read back in like 2022 when we had started the party in the back,
Right?
that if you want to get good engagement early on when you launch a
hmm
podcast, you do 8 episodes in a week. So
Gotcha.
so like we had our launch episode,
hmm
and we launched that in the morning, and then we had a second one that first day,
I
and
feel
then we had
bad, Josh, that we're lying to our listeners.
I
Leo
know
forgot his
you
mic, and so we suck. And I'm like, we're going to make this the best darn podcast show ever. And so
yeah.
we're recording out of order, but let's just
Mhm.
pretend like we're in
But yeah,
sync.
I mean, I
hmm
honestly I have no idea where we're gonna be, placing this
This,
episode, but
this may be number nine. Who
I
knows?
mean, yeah, I mean, there's a lot worse things that we could lie about to the listeners.
Absolutely.
I mean, we could
Absolutely.
make ourselves look so much better if we wanted to.
Well, it was funny because I was thinking all day about this. I'm like, this would be cool. I'm going to take time editing this one. And I get home and I'm like, can you hear me? It sounds like I'm in a box, like with a rug over my face.
You do. You do sound like
Yeah,
you're in a box.
this might be a bonus episode, but like, I didn't want to leave Josh hanging because, I promised him if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. We're going to show up.
Yes. Well, I appreciate it because
hmm
this is just fun.
I love
It's
it.
fun.
It's
Not
the
that
second
I
time I'm talking
felt.
to you this week. It's been a long time since we've had 2 episodes in one week.
I know. I know.
hmm
I just this is just this is. I mean, I know that we talked about this in our first episode. Again, lying
Wink,
to our
wink.
listeners.
hmm
But I'm
Wink,
assuming
wink.
that's what we're going to be talking about. But just
Someone
the
might just be
reasons
tuning in
why.
right now and not even know he's done this. So go ahead,
Right.
because I know where you're going.
Yeah. Well, I got to do it for the show. Um,
Yeah,
but I love that we can just talk about whatever, and not that we didn't do that in the other podcast,
that's
but
why we went from the party in the back to the fartlek. So we're like, we got to broaden our horizon here
yeah,
because
you
we love
know,
running. We love running. It's great. It's one of our most favorite pastimes. But the ADHD in us also said that there's so many other topics to explore, so many strange
yeah.
things that everyone's forgotten that we somehow remember.
Well, and that's basically what the fartlek had kind of turned into.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we need to like reconfigure this because we're still going
Hmm.
to be talking about running, right? We've
Yep.
established that in the first episode.
Yes, we did. It was great.
Oh
You're
yeah,
very
yeah,
passionate. Hmm.
and we probably talked way too long about it. But it's just there's just so much more, and I feel like with this direction, with this podcast, yeah, it's the sky is the limit, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
So I still want you guys, you listeners out there, all 17 of you now, because we're using another platform.
yes,
Let me bring it up to about 17 of you guys now to listen to us while you're running, because maybe we'll get you through that little part that sucks. I'd say reach down right now and grab yourself a suck rock, because those things seem to get you through the hard times. Josh can testify to that. But
hmm
it's just a little bit more of a little bit, bizarre places in our brains. That's really all it is.
oh
Think
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
It's the best darn podcast
We're just
show.
be wandering a little bit more than we're used to,
Absolutely. So let's keep
which
wandering, because you told me
yeah,
that you absolutely had a Temu list as well. Like, I didn't know that you were a Temu
yeah,
guy. I don't tell too many people that, because they always think that Kim Jong Un or someone's like spying on me when I order my headphones. But
right.
like, I'm not sure if he's even where Temu is. But like, that's the threat, I
I
guess.
I love Temu. Like it is, it's my go-to for a number of things. Decorations like
Yeah. Yeah.
like Christmas, uh, basically any holiday like Christmas, Easter, um, tons of Easter decorations, right?
Hmm.
Lots of pictures of Jesus. That's actually where, so we're doing a Palm Sunday celebration in our ward, and we actually bought like 80 palm leaves for the primary kids
Really?
off of Temu.
I know you
Yeah.
didn't watch the Bad Bunny like halftime show, but you gonna dress them up as palm trees so they can come waddling in? Like, what are you gonna do with these things?
Oh, what were those?
I don't know,
Like,
man.
like
Stalks of grass, of wheat. I don't
it
know.
looked like like a bad fever dream of
Hmm.
like the Wizard of Oz meets the Super Bowl
Yeah.
halftime show. You
You know
know?
what sucked though is if you got to participate and be part of the Super Bowl show, and then you're just some stalk of green grass. Like,
Hmm.
I'm the third one over, 4 feet deep on the left side. Like, you'd never be able to know where you were. Like,
No,
that
no.
that would be sad.
But I would still like, I would be bragging about that for my whole life.
For
Like,
sure.
yeah,
But that's the thing
I
though.
was a haystack.
What are you doing with palm leaves? Is it like a, well, I don't know.
Yeah,
I could
yeah,
guess,
well,
but
it's Palm Sunday, so, um, so Easter Sunday
mhm.
is, it's General Conference weekend, so, you know, so no local congregation, um, and so Palm Sunday, so my wife is the primary president, and the kids are gonna be singing, and so we got palm leaves
Mm.
for them, and they're gonna
What
have their
could go
palm.
wrong?
Yeah,
What could go
no, nothing
wrong?
could go wrong with
Yeah.
this. We're also gonna have some of the kids help greet people into the chapel with
Do
the
you have
palm
anyone
leaf.
that can juggle coconuts? Because 'Cause that'd be a great sideshow as they're singing,
Yes,
just doot, 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 Yeah.
but have you ever really done like Holy Week stuff or anything like that?
Josh, if you remember my music list, I'm kind of a heathen, like the answer is kind of no. I think I forget everything's coming up until the day of. And when the kids were little, we used to do a lot of that stuff. But I'm kind of like you, where the Easter Bunny is kind of a dumb thing, and so like,
Hmm.
it's just more like day of. I love the fact that you somehow can forecast further on than me. If it's not happening right now, it's like it doesn't exist in my orbits.
Oh,
I got to tip my hat to you, sir. I can't do that.
yeah, I love Easter, Holy Week, all of that. It's my favorite holiday.
The other thing with Easter is sometimes it's in March, sometimes it's in
Hmm.
April. I saw one time it was in June. I'm like, "What is this?" I don't know if it was in June,
June.
but, like, I don't know. I'm just making
I
that up. But, like, why did it change? I don't yet understand why it
um,
changes.
you know, I I tried figuring that out a few years ago in a deep dive, but I
Mhm.
still didn't understand
Can I tell you
because
this? I don't
there's
yeah.
because there's like Western civilization or what, not Western civilization, but
The
there's major
Midwest. Here we are.
Christianity, then there's the
Oh,
Orthodox, right?
gotcha.
And sometimes it's the same day, sometimes it's a month apart, sometimes it's the next week, right? It just depends.
It would be
Um,
cool if it was in June sometime. You never, I mean, come on,
that's usually
maybe.
when the day of Pentecost is,
Yeah, we don't
usually
want to compete with that, do we? Yeah.
no, but, uh, uh, I love well, and I love it because being, Greek as well, we would usually celebrate Greek Orthodox Easter.
Mm,
And so
makes sense.
it's kinda nice, especially when they're separate Sundays, because then I can
Hmm.
split, Easter Sunday with the in-laws and with my family.
Yeah.
So
So I do have another little complex kind of issue that I would love your help on, just to see if you've noticed this too. And again, the best our podcast shows, it's like wherever our ADHD takes us.
mhm,
But just like not understanding why Easter's sometimes in April and sometimes in March. Have you ever watched the pattern of the moon? And how sometimes it raises like right here in the east, but then a day later it's like way over there, like in the have you noticed? Actually, I don't get how this thing works. The other day, when I was going to the Tooele County Jail from Springville, I left at 5:15 in the morning, and it
mhm,
was gorgeous. It was huge. This moon was ginormous over there in the west. I get out of work at 4:15 p.m. Okay, and all of a sudden
mhm.
it's above me. I'm like, how the crap did it orbit that fast around and is now kind of back in the middle of the sky? There's something afoot. I want you to watch. It's
It's called
weird.
science.
I get it, and I wish that we had Neil deGrasse Tyson here to mock us. But like, and someone's like, "Well, Blue, it has to do with the occipital orbit." And I'm like, "Yeah, but why?" Do you know what I'm saying? Have you ever noticed
Mhm.
this? Like, it's weird. Like the other day, it was so far south. I'm like, what in the crud? Because yesterday it was right there coming over like straight east. I don't know, man. So
Blue, I feel like if you lived in the medieval times, you would definitely be
burned at
the
the stake.
sun rotates around the earth type of
Okay,
person.
yeah, I probably would, man. I
You
probably would. I
know?
think that might be why I get so crappy when I'm doing directions. Okay, I mean, like,
Yeah, the moon stuff doesn't make sense to me necessarily because yeah, but I've never really sat there and observed,
I need you
where the
to
moon
because it's going to drive you nuts. Because you're like,
I
I don't
know, I
get
know.
how this thing works.
I'm not gonna go outside for the next 2 weeks because as soon as I see the moon, I'm gonna start
Hmm.
charting the skies to see where it's gonna be tomorrow, and then I'll do
Dude,
that for a whole week, and then before you know it, I'm gonna have pictures of the moon pinned up to the side of my walls and
it's like
yarn
red
connecting each and
stringy.
every one
Yeah.
of them.
Uh huh.
It's a beautiful night.
I see it. So I don't get. There's things in this world that you don't understand, so we just got to accept it and move on.
Yeah,
Apparently.
I mean,
Mhm.
there's a reason why we're not astrologists. Is that the ones that study space, or is that the ones that read your palm? I can't remember.
Yeah, oceanography, something like that. I don't know. But
I
back to
like whales.
Temu.
Mhm.
Back to Temu. I do understand how that works. It
Yes.
seems like they're getting pretty quick on their gains too to like get stuff to you. Like I've ordered
Yeah.
stuff, and at first when it first came out, it was like months, and I'm like, I ordered this, and it came in like a package that looked like it was drugs in
Mhm.
like black duct tape around. I think they got their shipping down or something because this was like very eloquent when it arrived today.
They're yeah, no, I agree because they're I had ordered something earlier or last week, I think. Yeah, last week, and it came within less than a week, which
Mm,
yeah, for Temu, like the thing I loved about Temu right off the bat is I kind of felt like I was buying my own, birthday presents and surprising myself because I forgot that I had ordered
you
it, right?
ordered? Yeah, man.
But I love it because it is more reliable, and I think it's because they have a shipping center in Vegas now, so
So that's how they
I
get
think
around
that's
the old
part of the
tariffs, huh?
reason.
Yeah. It's coming
Yeah,
through there instead.
because I honestly, like, I buy my cards from Temu, and
Mm.
I have actually quite a huge stack,
You
and
buy
I
what?
I have a huge stack of cards, like birthday cards, and things
Dude.
like that, because they actually have some pretty good cards, like some pretty funny ones.
Well, here's the
Um,
deal. I'm glad you said that because we were looking for a car not too long ago. I
mhm.
had no idea those freaking things are wicked expensive.
I They are. I mean, they
What
are, but
happened?
there were like, if there's one that I find absolutely funny, I'm buying it.
But that's the
And
thing. Every Christmas, we go into the Hallmark store. It's the only time I ever step foot in that place.
oh, yeah.
And some of those cards are upwards of $6 to $7, man. Well, how is Hallmark staying afloat in this day and age?
Uh, $7 Christmas
You know,
cards.
no, seriously. Like you walk in, there, you got your Thomas Kincaid like little statues of like toadstools and stuff, and pictures and
Mhm.
stuff, and the Disney through the wazoo, man. They got tons of Disney stuff. But like, there's only like one or two people in there whenever I go. I'm like, how is this a money laundering operation? Like, how is Hallmark still open?
It really, like, it's those whole mattress stores, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's this okay, again, ADHD, but
Mm-hmm.
in West Jordan, there is this huge, I don't know if it's an outlet store. I haven't been inside of it, and from what it looks like, nobody else has, but there's an
Mm-hmm.
open sign that's flashing. I think it's called Denver Mattress. It's over on about
Did not realize they
7000
were in
sev
West Jordan. Maybe that's part
yeah,
of the problem.
7800 South, and just by the, Mountain View corridor. So
Gotcha.
I drive past it, it's open, it's huge, and it's Denver Mattress, but nobody's in there, and I'm like, "Okay, I thought that, what's the mattress place, the
Mm,
King Mattress or whatever it is?"
yeah.
Like, those are small, they go into little strip malls, right?
Right.
And there's nobody in there, and everybody's like, "Oh, yeah," like, money laundering, drugs, whatever.
Well, let's test this theory. Where did you buy
Mhm.
your last mattress? Mine came from Purple, and it's the most horrific, horrible piece of garbage, but it's too dang heavy, and I can't ever get it out.
You don't need to take that.
It's
I'm petting
uh,
my purple
do you
mattress.
like a Purple mattress? I hate it. They
I
promise
have
me they're
2.
like, "It's gonna keep you cool." It doesn't. Those little pockets of rubber or whatever, like,
Mhm.
it keeps heat in. I sweat that I hate this mattress. Gosh, it weighs probably 6 metric ton.
I like my purple mattress. This is a purple mattress, and then we have one in the master bedroom as well.
What happened,
And
man?
the
How did you make
only
friends with it?
the only thing that I probably have an issue with is the pillow. I, um,
Mhm.
I don't like the purple pillow, but it does kind of work. I just have a lot of neck issues though, because of, I don't know if it's because of that or just
My
I'm
pug sleeps on
very
our
short.
purple pillow. I'm like, "Here, you can have this piece of garbage." I hate him. Like, and that's one of those things where, like, yeah, we bought it, but our mattress before that came from IKEA, which was even 1,000 times worse.
Because you had to
But
put, like, each piece of the mattress together
yeah,
yourself.
well, and it's kind of fun. You think there's 2 things you should always have, right? You should make sure that you spend money on. The first is a car, and have a good car, so spend money.
Mhm.
The second is make sure you get a freaking rad mattress because you're there all the time. I'm more than half of a century old, and I've never had like a great mattress. I remember going to Park City one time, Marissa and I, and the timeshare condo that her parents let us stay at with them. They had some kind of mattress that was like heaven on earth. And Marissa been searching for it since we left 10 years ago there and can't find it, but like it was heaven. I think they just sold it to the Hilton up there. That's all it was. Like we could never get it down here in peasant land.
I'm pretty sure that my in-laws had the same mattress for about 40 years or so,
Oh my gosh.
and when they moved, they finally got a new mattress.
Dude, Josh, that's the
Yeah,
worst. Marissa, okay, here's the deal. We get married, right? And we go to our little apartment. Marissa already had a bed, so I'm like, all right, I'll lay on it. She's all, I guess in a sultry voice, right? She's like, this mattress is my grandparents. And I'm like, what? Dude, I'm like,
that's
we can't. Like, can you imagine memory foam was a thing back then? You lay down and the memory's like, I've seen
this
things, get
divot.
off, run for your life.
I
The
was gonna
memory's
say, I'm
like,
like,
I remember when. Yeah,
nothing's happening when,
dude.
when grandpa's divot is right there reminding you.
Dude, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like when I see people yard selling mattresses, I'm like, nope, full floor and gas. I'm not stopping here. Like, who in their
I'm
right mind
totally
would ever want a used mattress? Oh, it gives me the creeps.
I am totally outing my brother here because A couple weeks ago, we went to the Bountiful Dump because we were taking some stuff from my parents. We had
Where's
cleaned
the
out
Bountiful Dump? Where is that?
by the Bountiful Pond, which
Great
I have
place.
issues with that because a lot of people go fishing there, and I'm like,
Oh,
do they all do
yeesh.
the fish have like three eyes or something like that? You know?
Oh, man.
But we went. We were dumping like a box spring, a TV, and then just a bunch of expired food
Mhm.
that hadn't been cleared out since like 2013. Some of it. That's a conversation for another day.
Right.
But my brother started looking at some of the mattresses and box springs that were at the dump because there were some that looked good. And I'm like,
Oh,
no,
they're here for a reason,
no,
man. Yeah.
no, you do not do that. That is a hard no. I mean,
Ooh.
you're going to end up with something if that's what you do,
It's
right?
hard enough to do one at a hotel with me. I told you this on the fartlek a couple weeks ago that, like, I'm a germaphobe. I didn't realize it. There's no way I would even approach a mattress at a dump site. There's no way.
No, no, and that's why I'm just like I had to say something. I couldn't just sit there in silence in horror, you know,
You
like
start screaming, "Shame!
I
Shame!"
know.
pointing
I'm
at
like,
him.
that's how you get lice
Oh my gosh.
and chlamydia, you know? Like, it's just, you just
Yeah.
don't do it.
You get a weird rash. Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah.
Dude.
So, anyway, yeah. I don't know how we got on that tangent, but
That's the thing is I've never seen anyone buy a mattress from any of those places. It's definitely amongst the money laundering businesses for sure, you
oh,
know?
yeah.
So,
No, 100%. And I
mhm.
want to get down to the bottom of it with this Denver mattress because I don't know. Why do you need such a huge showroom for
Well,
mattresses?
it's funny you say that because I think I told you this when we were talking about, doing a whole separate podcast because it was really more in tune with us. I was driving to work the other day and I drive past the store every day and it hit me. I've never seen anyone patron this business. And it's a piano store. I'm thinking I've never seen someone like haul out a piano and throw it on top of their car. And who's shopping for pianos? If anyone out there shopping for piano, is this more of a Facebook Marketplace, a KSL ad, or is this like I'm going in to this piano store in Orem and I'm gonna purchase like a baby grand? I can't imagine how much these things cost, but let alone like I mean, where do you put it? A piano? Do you have a piano at your house? You seem like a family that might have a piano.
Not, not here. My parents have one. Marianne's parents have one, but I feel like, I
Where'd they
honestly,
come from?
I don't
Have you
know.
always been there?
I feel like a piano is usually kind of a hand me down type of thing
Hmm. Yeah.
because I want to say that my mom got it from like her great grandparents because it's kind of an
Her
older
great
one,
grandparents? That's an
or
old one.
I mean her grandparents, my great
Mhm.
grandparents. But yeah, I don't know. Like that's it.
See? Like,
Yeah. See, like where
I've
did they
seen
come
them
from? I
I
mean,
don't
they've got
know.
to reproduce somehow, right?
Well, I'm thinking how busy is the piano market? Like, are people just like, we can't get them off the assimilating fast enough? Like, they're just going like hotcakes. Like,
No, because I don't feel like that would be kind of the market for
no,
pianos right now
this is a
because I feel
store,
like,
Josh, not like Guitar Center. This is a store dedicated
yeah,
to pianos.
I mean, that's got to be a very niche market because I feel like if you're going to buy that nice of a piano, I
Mhm.
mean, you've got to have some pretty good money, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure
So
what a brand new piano costs. I know there's like 15,000 different variations,
I know I was
but
going
like
to
that
say, I'm
doesn't
like,
seem like something you can go grab like a guitar or something. I mean, a piano, dude, that's commitment because
I
you have to
I
keep them
want to Google.
tuned and you have to keep them in areas that have some moisture in there from what I've
Uh,
heard. Like it's a it's a life it's like a smoker, right? People that buy smokers, it becomes their lifestyle. I know people that like they live and die by it, and I love it. Like Spencer, I know that he loves to smoke foods and meats. The ADHD in me, I want food now. I don't want food tomorrow at 7. I'm starving to death right now.
mhm.
I think piano might be the same way. You've got to commit yourself to it, right? Like it's
Do you though? Because is a piano a way of life or is it part
Piano
of the
is life.
sport, right? Because I feel like, I mean, our piano and my parents' piano, I mean, it does get played occasionally, but
Hmm.
for the most part, it just sits there. Nobody's taking active piano lessons.
Have you ever had that guy come in with that fedora hat, big thick black glasses with a tuning kit? The piano man, the tuning guy. Like, did he ever stop at your house to make sure that your E's and your C's and your A's, what if that's the only thing, if those were in tune? Like hot cross
Not
buns playing?
not
Like,
that
can
I
you hear?
remember, but, that could have been the equivalent of the milkman in my family. I
Yeah.
don't know.
See? Yeah. So, do you really have a piano if you're not getting it tuned up? I mean, so
No, but
yeah, man.
have
Hmm.
a dad I didn't know about.
Yeah. You go the milkman piano tuner. But that's the thing, right? Like, that's who's patroning these stores. I'd love to know who's going to Denver Mattress, who's going to the
Yeah,
piano store.
because
Like,
if I'm
it's
buying a
intense.
piano, I'm buying it off of KSL. I don't know if that's something you can buy from the DI, you know?
Can you imagine loading and unloading a piano for DI? That would be a nightmare.
Yeah, that just
Whenever I unload clothing or boxes and stuff, I kind of feel like I'm always putting the people at DI out. Like, you want to pick up the heavy stuff? And it's this poor kid who's like, oh, do you want a receipt? I'm like, no, you
I'm
just
just
take it. I try to
saving
drive
money
away
for
real
my
fast.
mission.
Yeah. We had our stupid yard sale out here and we took everything else to DI. And I felt like we were just giving them garbage. And I'm like, this sucks. Like, I hate
I
this.
No, I agree. Like, I feel guilty
Hmm.
giving stuff to the DI, not because I don't want to get rid of the stuff, but I just feel like it's junk. But at the same time, I know that there are people out there who would love this or who use it. But,
Yeah.
at the same time, like, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of
How often do
embarrassing.
you shop at the old DI? Because it's funny with kids now, they love it. They think it's like
Mm,
retro, like they're like,
I,
shopping for, some cool deals. They're trying to find that diamond in the rough. And you go in there and it's, what's that smell in DI? Like, what kind of
yeah.
sanitizer are they using? Have you noticed? Like, what is that? It smells
I
clean, but it
know
also smells
exactly. I know
musty
exactly
and
that smell.
humid.
Um,
What is that?
I,
Like,
my
is that
dad,
their detergent? Is that like, what is that? You know what I'm talking about?
it's got to be the cleaner. I've kind of always thought it was just like old books, but old books have a very distinct smell to them.
Hmm.
But there is this DI smell, which I don't know if it's a cleaner or what, but like I can't. Like,
Can I show you one of my most hilarious DI finds of a books that I found? Like, I'm gonna
yes,
pull it up.
please.
I'll show you. You're gonna die when you see this. In fact, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I bought this probably about, oh shoot, when was it? Bought this probably, let me see. Okay. So this is, I like to look at old books, okay? And so
Hmm.
where am I? All right. The Fundamentals of Prophecy, okay? Church book, Josh.
Prosperity or
Prosperity, yeah,
yeah, not prophecy.
prosperity, that
I'd
too.
be worried if you had that one.
But in here, you'll see the prophet, E.V.J. Grant.
Wow.
He signed
Are you
that.
are you kidding me? Like, he
He signed
signed
that
that?
on August 17th, 1932. It says, "Hello, Edward J. Johnson, dear friend. Accept this copy of Fundamentals of Prosperity with the heartfelt sympathy of Sister Grant and myself, in loving remembrance of your dearly departed father. Yours truly, President Grant." Look at that, see?
That's pretty cool, actually. I will say
Got that for $1.
you that's a like, did you just buy it because you saw that it was signed by President Grant?
Yeah, I thought it looked cool. I didn't really know who it was at first, to be honest with you. And then when in Orem, there was a guy named Robert Millett, and he's like an author.
Mhm.
And I showed him, he's like, "That's authentic." He's like, "How much do you want for it?" I'm like, "I got it for $1." He's like, "Don't sell it for $1.50." He's like, "Don't sell it for $1.50." But yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing, because I've spent quite a bit of time in the DI. Growing up, my dad didn't work for the DI. He worked for church headquarters, but he would travel around the Western U.S. and
Hmm.
he would train people at the regional DIs and that around California, Oregon, Idaho. So vacations were actually centered around the DI.
Mm.
believe it or not. And so that's why my dad's record collection is so extensive
Oh,
because
yeah.
every time he would go to the DI when he was working, he would go check the records, and he actually found quite a few rare records have that he's sold for a few $1,000s. Um, I collected stuffed killer whales when I would go. Uh,
So funny, dude.
Granted,
Yeah.
I was a kid, so
Yeah.
I feel like I should make that distinction. But yeah, the DI, like, it's
I
been a
once found a
while.
$2 bill in a book too. So the
But
book
yeah,
paid for itself. That was kinda cool.
I have found money in books before at the DI.
You know when
Um,
you're walking around and you find money on the ground, I always feel like I'm getting punked, so I don't dare pick it up, but then I don't dare leave it there either. So,
yeah,
like, I I'll pick it up and scurry away like a rat, just trying to get away, like, so no one can see me, you know? Like, what is that? Like, why do I have such a bad, like,
the
you know.
worst, and I've seen so many videos of this. It's like it's not like I won't even pick up coins, right? Because I don't want it to be one of those quarters
Someone's
that's like
glued.
super glued, you know?
Jerem did that all the time. Yeah, all the time.
Oh,
That's the joke
um,
that keeps on joking. I love it.
the uh, the dollar bills though, right?
Mhm.
That's a tricky one because I've seen too many videos of people who bend down to pick up, like a $5 bill, and it's like hooked on a fish line, and people are reeling it.
And they don't give
That's
up.
just
They keep
mean.
following it, huh? I like the ones that are
That's
get
just
fully committed.
mean. But
Dude, it's funny. I once
anyway,
found $50, a $50 bill in my front yard. It was last spring when I was cleaning up, like, all the leaves and stuff, and I'm like,
mhm.
"That looks like money," and I picked it up, and it was all busted to crap. I'm like, "It's a $50." Dude, $50, Josh. I was like, "Hallelujah." I probably gave it to my son because he needed money, but, like, how cool is that? That's the most money I've ever found, and it was right there in my yard, so I just take claim to that.
I'm trying to think. I think the most I've ever found is probably about $20. I
Mhm.
remember I remember finding $20 going to a jazz game. Like when I was a kid, junior jazz, we would always stay for the after game show, right? When Hot Rod would
Right.
like
"Hey,
interview
how's it
Carl.
going, Joshua Snow? What are
Yeah.
you doing?" Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be interviewing Carl or John or whoever.
Mhm.
And we would go to the lower bowl just to see what we could find. And I remember going, picking, popcorn buckets around and whatnot, seeing what we could find. We'd take a program if they were left or whatever. And then I remember finding a $20 bill. I want to say we've found 20 or $10 bills a few times. And
Yeah.
my friend Brad and
Yeah.
I would go quite a bit, even outside of the junior
Do
jazz.
they
But
do they still give programs the way like they used to? Like, I went to the game the other day, we didn't get anything, but, like, do they
I
still do that?
I don't I don't think they do, which is
Yeah.
such a shame because I love that as a kid,
Yeah.
like the
That was
Hoop
awesome.
magazine,
Oh, yeah,
you
that's
know?
right, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, like, um, gosh, I still even have a whole bunch just because, my parent well,
Mhm.
one, because, I kinda collected them and kept the ones that I went to, the
Yeah.
games, but then, we having our baseball card shop as well, like, we had tons, and I love
Yeah.
them because
That
it's
was
so much
cool.
fun even just to read them now, it's just such a blast from the past,
No, seriously,
but I
Marissa the
don't
other day was bringing stuff out, and we were doing some cleaning and stuff, and she had all of her concert ticket stubs. I think we talked about this before, and they don't do that anymore because now it's all digital on the phone. And it was cool because she had like REM and all kinds of things. I'm like, that's so funny to like see the ticket stubs. And my kids were like, where how'd you get these? And I'm like, you had to go to Smith's grocery store and stand in line. And she's like,
Mhm.
well, how did you pick your seats? I'm like, you didn't. You
Yeah.
got there and you got what you got. And I said, so if you really wanted a good seat and you knew it was coming out, you were there 2 or 3 days before. She's like, you would camp out. I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
they had no concept, Josh. Like
Yeah.
movies,
No,
even
it's
Star Wars,
not.
people were camping and everything for that stuff. The kids don't understand what life used to be like back then. It was hard, man. It was hard.
I remember Oh my gosh, like, I remember getting jazz tickets for, like, Christmas and things like that,
Mhm.
and just that well, even any concert, real or a concert or tickets, right? But there's just something about opening that envelope or whatever and seeing those tickets, and, like, physically holding those tickets that,
Yeah.
like, that's just lost now, lost to time because it just doesn't exist. Like, I remember going to Smith's
Mhm.
for either for concert tickets or jazz tickets, and
Yeah. I had to
my
stand at in
gosh.
Smith's line to get LL Cool J at the 49th Street Galleria. That was weird.
Oh my
What
gosh.
a what a strange combo that was. Mom was gonna knock you
Yeah,
out at the old 49th Street
I don't
Galleria.
I don't even think that they have do they even have ticket offices now at the Delta Center?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
I remember even going down to the Delta Center to go get tickets,
Mhm.
and it always seemed like it was hopping because
Yeah.
because that's how you got them, right? And
Yeah.
that's people would go
Absolutely.
during their lunch or after work or whatever. But yeah, it's just that part of the
It was so
experience is
inconvenient, but, like,
gone.
nostalgic at the same time, right? Like,
Mhm. Oh,
they could
yeah.
not conceptualize the fact that we would have to just wait, and I said and there were times when you wanted to get 3 or 4, but there were no 3 or 4 seats, and so you were sitting there, and then you thought, "How do we kinda navigate this?" You know? Dude,
Mhm.
it was a nightmare back then. I mean, good
Mhm.
grief, you know? So,
Yeah.
I don't know how we survived, Josh, to be
Oh,
honest with you.
I don't know how. I mean
It was just like I was telling them, I said, "Look, back in the day, if you know, I remember doing this on payphones because for some reason you could do this on the payphone. But you remember they'd have like the 1-900-909, like called DJ Jazzy Jeff, like so called Jeff, and you'd go
mhm.
on there. And if you went to a payphone and you dialed it, it would just connect you through. And so we'd always go to school and listen to DJ Jazzy Jeff tell us about, how to keep your day good and like what music's coming out. It was the funniest thing like 1-900-909, like Milli Vanilli or something. It was like, did you ever do those? Like, I never did them at home because my mom and dad would have killed me. But like, for some reason, you could do it on a payphone and it'd go right through.
Um,
No coins added.
no, I don't think I did. I'm trying to remember. I
Hmm.
don't think I did though, because yeah, I mean, my mom would have killed me too. So
When's the last time you remember calling to find out what time it was so you could set your clock? Like the time and
gosh,
temperature. Like
um,
you
honestly,
used to call, Josh, to get that. Like
it was probably
Central Bank
early,
time.
early 2000s,
Mm.
and it was
Really
because I think it was
that
because I
late?
was on my mission, and that was just the
Oh,
easiest way to do it because I didn't know how else to do. Like um,
dude.
but
Time
also
and
I'm trying to
temperature.
think. There was also it was a toll-free, like, news, hotline that you could call,
Really?
and it was like I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think it was something like 1-800-TELL-ME. That sounds about right. But
Mm,
essentially, you could call this number and it was voice activated, right? So you're like,
right.
sports, you know, NBA, and then it would tell you the scores or whatever,
Mhm.
or it would tell you the weather, or it would tell you the headlines. And I remember using that quite a bit in the early 2000s, up to probably about 2007, 2008, even
Dude,
until I got the smartphone, right?
right.
So I don't know. It's just funny how technology has kind of evolved so quickly
Well, seriously,
because
and this is what's funny about it, man. About a week and a half ago, I was going through TV and I saw this show that I know you'll remember right when I tell you. And I'm like, kids, get out here and watch this from 1985. The film is Daryl. Remember Daryl? Daryl. Remember that?
oh,
Where the
yes.
kid was like a top secret military, like superhuman robot, and he kind of escaped, and he wanted to be a real boy. Do you remember this? And like the whole plot was this kid jumps into a car with this older guy that's being pursued by like the military, and he's trying to figure out who he is and what he's doing, and they kind of figure out that he's like a robot, and he flies a plane. I watched that whole thing, Josh. Holy crap, were we gullible back then?
Yeah, just hop in the car, right? I think
Yeah.
I remember. I don't know if I'm thinking of the same one. I think I am. I can't remember the name. of the main character, of the
Of
actor
Daryl?
of Daryl?
Um, well, I think it was like you want like the name, like the guy that was
Yeah,
over it?
what was his name? I mean, I guess I could Google this, but
Well, we've got Mary Beth Hurt, you got Michael Keane. Yeah, Michael Keaton. Like that, yeah, Michael Keaton was in it. Um, you got what, Colleen Camp, whoever she is, Kathleen Walker, Michael McLean. I don't
okay.
know. You tell me.
Okay, yep.
Is this the one you're
I
thinking
think
of?
that's the one I'm thinking of.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly I haven't seen that in
It says
such a
it says
long time.
Daryl's social skills are limited due to his isolation and upbringing, but befriends Turtle Fox. Remember the kid's friend's name was Turtle? This sarcastic, wisecracking neighbor. And Daryl shares that he has had amnesia and hopes that his real parents will find him someday. Daryl observes Turtle playing video games, pole position, right? Remember pole position? He effortlessly outperforms him, displaying superhuman abilities. Like it was the funniest thing watching this show from 1985, and how hilarious it was. But I told my kids, I'm like, we're gonna start doing this every weekend. And I said, I'm gonna find Cloak and Dagger next. Remember Cloak and Dagger?
No, I don't,
Man,
actually.
Josh. All right, maybe KP or somebody out there who
Oh, I'm
remembers
no,
Cloak
I'm
and
pretty sure
Dagger.
because I think that's, like, right before my time. I do remember seeing this at least once or twice, seeing
Hmm.
Daryl, and
Hmm.
I remember Daryl has the tism.
Well,
It's
that's
not
what it
because of
looked
his
like. It looked like he did because poor
yeah.
kid was socially awkward, man. He was a robot.
Yeah, see, I don't know, okay, I can't
Did
get
you
too
ever
lost
watch
into
did you ever
reading that.
watch Space Camp in school? Remember that show Space Camp where the kids got on the space shuttle and it just magically, like, took off and they're, like, these kids in space?
Nope,
Remember that?
never I never
Josh,
saw that,
like,
but I'm pretty sure
I always
that
thought
that
that stuff could
probably was
happen.
made before the Challenger.
It absolutely was, 100%. Yep, I
Because
think it
no
was. I'm
kids are
pretty sure it
getting
was.
on the Challenger or any any spacecraft after that.
Dude, I just
Actually,
remember everyone's like I remember Space Camp being a big deal. Remember back in the day when we wanted to go to space camp? Did you
oh, yeah.
ever was that part of your upbringing
No,
where
yeah, I mean, that definitely was something that was big.
mhm.
No, space kinda scared me as a
You didn't
kid.
have any desires to be an
No,
astronaut? Yeah? You'd
no.
rather stay in the oceans and find the whales and not worry
Yeah,
about
take me to SeaWorld, make me a killer whale trainer, but don't blast me off into space.
Okay, so listen, maybe you and I need to start this new segment on here. It's like, "What's Blue watching?" Because, like, I watch a lot of weird stuff, man.
You do.
I think we talked about this before, like, the Disney movies were a hoot back in the day. We've talked about Something Wicked This Way Come and all that fun stuff. But when's the last time you just sat down with a bowl of popcorn and watched Black Hole? Remember that one? Where the
Can't
whole
say I
ship's,
have.
like, slowly
I
plunging
know what
into
you're
a black
talking
hole?
about.
Mhm. Whoever wrote these, man, I'm telling you, like, they skimped out on a lot of
You know,
detail.
and I think we've talked about this before in the past.
Mhm.
I have such a hard time sitting down and watching TV. Like anything over a half an hour, like I have to be doing something else in order for me to
Yeah,
keep my attention going, or I'm either lost or just anxiety driven because I'm like I've got to be doing something else. Do you get
exactly.
that way? Because I
Nope,
that has to
not
be an
me, dude.
ADHD thing.
My ADHD allows me to do pretty much whatever other than something that's supposed to be productive, so I'm pretty good, man. I can do
Mm.
some crazy stuff.
Well, I'm not saying that I'm necessarily wanting to be productive. I just need to be doing something else.
Well, usually it's during the winter I kinda get into that habit, but this winter's been so freaking stupid with no snow that I feel like I gotta be outside, so I've, like, cleaned my yard up, I've got, like, some projects going, it's weird, so I haven't been able to watch as much, but yeah, I do occasionally, like, on Sunday, I'll sit down and watch, like, a bunch of movies in a row, kinda, like, recharge for the weekend, but I find myself watching the dumbest shows, like, and I love them. Like, I saw this show a couple weeks ago, Josh, where this whole premise was there was a bomb on this plane, and you could absolutely tell that every time they did exterior shots of it, it was a flippin' little, like, Hasbro model or something. And it was the drama is just so, like, over the top. Like, first off, whenever they do movies, like, with plane interiors, they're much
Mhm.
more spacious than they ever would be in real life. And I'm like, "Look how much knee and elbow room everyone has." And the dialogue is I don't even know what this was. It was I think in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, we went through this period where every movie was like a tragedy. We had like the Towering Inferno, which was like a burning building, or we had like this ship that gets tackled by a wave and it turns upside down, or the Poseidon. And we have all these
Oh,
like earthquake and volcanoes. And I think whatever happened during the 70s and 80s, we went through this Mother Nature's going to kill you. And so every movie had some kind of like crazy, like earthquake, hilarious. Like they get the models and they're like breaking them apart. It's supposed to be like the Golden Gate Bridge. I love that stuff, man. It's so dumb.
I do, like, I love a good disaster movie.
Yeah.
I love the Poseidon.
Do you ever
The
think
new
when
one
you're watching a
just
disaster
sucks.
movie that you'd be the guy that makes it? Because I always think that, but in reality, I'd probably get demolished day one. Like
Yeah,
a
I probably
zombie
would.
apocalypse, I'm thinking I could totally handle myself. Who am I kidding? I can probably run, but I don't have any weapons. I don't have any guns. I don't
Mm-mm.
have anything that I need. I'd probably get mugged by the neighbors who like want my food. Like, cause you know, like,
Yeah, I don't know. I've always thought about, like, what I would do in certain situations, right? And I feel like for the most part, I'd be okay, but I know that that's probably an overestimation of how I actually would fend. Um, and
so let me test this theory with you. Have you ever done this? Like talk about disasters? And don't think less of me because I'm asking you this, but have you ever sat in church and you're sitting on the pew and you look up and you see that big, huge honking like light, and you think, if that thing fell, it would hit those guys, and you can kind of picture it happening. Do you tell
Mhm.
me I'm not the only one that does
No,
that? Like you can kind of like,
no, I'm 100% the same. Like, every situation that I'm in, like,
oh,
it's almost like I go into worst case scenario
yeah,
within, like,
dumb ways
30
to die.
seconds,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
And for the longest time, I'm like, "Something's gotta be wrong with me." But
dude.
I'm this like, that's one of the reasons why when I go to a restaurant, I can't have my back uh, like,
The door.
the rest of the dining room, right?
I
Like,
gotcha.
I have to have a view, and the funny thing is, and I kinda question that because for many years, I thought it's because I wanna make sure that I'm safe and, that I'm not surprised if something happens, which makes sense, but then
Yeah, it
I
does.
I just would always tend to just kind of let my thoughts go to the worst case scenario,
Hmm.
and I think it was more so a form of entertainment than it was protection.
Dude, it really was. It's ADHD, man. Like, I
Yeah.
remember being at Provo High thinking, all right, if I'm sitting here and a car from University Avenue come barreling through, which way would I jump?
Mhm.
And yeah, you can totally picture it. I'm like, that's so funny. Like, I think I told you this years ago. When Mercy and I were first kind of married, we were driving to Salt Lake, and she looks over at me and she's like, "What are you thinking about right now?" And I'm like, "Ooh, should I tell her?" I'm like, "Do you really want to know like what I'm thinking?" She's like, "Yeah, I would have asked you if I didn't." Realistically, I'm wondering how I could crash into that armored car over there, spill the money, get it all, and then drive away without getting caught. And I look over at her and her eyes are huge, like, what? And no, I'm just kidding. I wasn't thinking that. That's just where my mind goes. I'm like, I wonder if I
Mhm.
could. Obviously, I'm not going to do it, but like, I want you to play this on Marianne before this episode airs. And I want you to say, what are you thinking about right now?
Yeah.
it's
No,
a telltale sign.
she does that to me, and to be honest with you, like,
You just like beavers and
I'm
ducks. I don't know.
embarrassed,
Like,
you
yeah,
know? Um,
no vacancy sign.
yeah, because I am usually thinking either about a worst case scenario or what would I do in this situation?
But
Like,
that's the thing. That's why you like
um
car crash videos, right? Because now
mhm,
you're very aware that like, oh, like what would happen if a car
and
jumps the median and comes over here?
and so I think with that said, though, like, I do wonder if because of that and because I do go worst case scenario. I wonder if that's why I do well in situations where it is an emergency or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to think better of myself that I actually would
Hmm.
in these situations. But
No, it's funny how
um,
the human response is the fight, flight, fawn, or freeze is very real, and how it manifests is kind of funny. Like I always thought that I'd be a fighter, 100%, Josh. right?
Mhm.
And so when I worked at the Utah County Division of Substance Abuse, we worked with guys and gals that were having heavy legal problems, and so they had some real stuff on the line if they screwed up and got in trouble with the judge and would go to jail and stuff. So there was some real pressure to make sure that they did well. And there were times when they would come and they would fight the system, and I'm like, you guys, you can't be here, so I'd kick them out and stuff, and that would ruin like everything that they had kind of planned because they're testing positive or whatever. Anyway, stakes were high. I'm leaving one day. And I go to the parking garage, and I would always park downstairs underneath the parking garage on the subfloor because it was cooler down there, and it was kind of like, oh, you get your car is cool. I go walk into my car, and I feel this poke in the back of my neck, and I hear this time's up, and I'm like, oh crap. So here in my head, I always thought I'm a fighter. If I have a drone spot, I'm gonna turn around and sweep kick him, put my foot across his face, do like a ninja kick, kind of like David or like what do you call it, like the crow thing that
Mhm.
Danielson does. I'm like the crane. I'm like, I got this. I froze. I was like, well, it's been a great life. And I was gonna hear this laugh. I turned around. It was my coworker. His name was Ryan. I'm like, you a hole. But I
That's when
learned
you're
something
like,
valuable.
"I know 3 or 4 different ways to kill you."
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
don't let
Dude,
in
that
that
was
you
it. You
yeah.
don't know until it happens, right? So
Mhm.
you got to train yourself. I'm
Yeah,
a
I mean,
freezer.
I've been in situations like that where not I haven't been held up by gunpoint. I had a knife that was
I
pulled
had
out on
Lucas's
me.
finger. I should tell you, I wasn't like in any danger. He was
Oh,
messing with me. Yeah.
but right. I mean, like,
But dude,
I mean,
I
I've
didn't
had
even
a
see
knife
him.
that's
He
been
was
pulled
standing
out.
behind the pillar and I couldn't even see him. So I walked right up like la di da, and then like he's all
Mhm.
times up. I thought crap,
Yeah.
dude. Like, froze. Froze.
Yeah.
Big old tough blue here.
Hey, no
Not.
judgment here. I probably would be the same way though. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, it's like it's just funny how my mind just kind of wanders that way. And totally ADHD thing. And I think
Mm-hmm.
as a kid, for me especially, because I had a lot of anxiety as a kid. I had a lot of separation anxiety. And I feel like it was just more so unfocused ADHD in that regard because I would always go to the worst case scenario instead of me focusing on what would I do in this situation. It was always the worst case scenario of what would like great, my mom's gonna like crash and burn the
Mm-hmm.
car, she's gonna die like going home from dropping me off at school, right? And
Yeah.
so there was that separation anxiety. But then, as soon as I was able to kind of control that and to understand that, okay, the odds of something happening are very, very
Mm-hmm.
slim. She's a good driver, whatever.
Yeah.
Then that I think really allowed my whole attention span to go everywhere else.
You're like, "Free at last, free at last."
Yep. But
Oh, man.
I don't know. That's interesting. I mean,
We're
that,
at 56 minutes, and it feels like 5 minutes, man.
yeah,
Like, look
it
at
does.
this. I'm not even sure where we went, but here we
I
are.
don't know, but come back tomorrow. We have another episode that is going to drop. Again, we're not an everyday podcast. Just for this first week of launching the best darn podcast.
Show, right? Don't forget the show, man. It's kind of the hardest part in there,
Yep.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to, like, know, like, why you call it that. So, I look forward to our first episode where I can learn
Yes.
more about that. But as Porky Pig says, I believe that's all, folks.